All right, welcome everybody to another episode of Providence Lucha Talk. This is Luisito,
Your boy Jay Aguila.
and we're here to talk, all things wrestling, especially the things that happen over the weekend, the pay per view and Raw, and maybe some news that happened, that we got to see over the week. So, how you been so far?
I've been good. I've been doing pretty well, thank you. Uh, for those who are listening, found us accidentally. Thank you for joining in. We appreciate you. We love you for that. You can definitely follow us on all social media, the Providence Lucha Talk on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well as our YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe, like, and follow our page. And as well, listen to our audio contents on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. But most importantly, your boy, he got that 100%. You can't take that
Yeah.
away from me. Those who've been listening from day one heard me last Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday, my prediction. And man, it felt good. It felt so good, to be honest, seeing the results, man.
It was.
What about
I'm not saying I was surprised. I'm glad. At least you're starting in a winning streak finally. Especially go
finally?
100%. 100%. It's very
I'm the
fun.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the first to ever get 100%. Like
Um.
that's impressive right there. We need to understand that if that ever happens again, I need to get like an autograph from somebody.
No. No.
Like that. That was a like, yo, I did not know it was gonna go that far. I thought you might got in the way with the Bailey, but it
Mm-hmm.
turns out Bailey match was like
Those
switch
two
up.
canceled. Yeah, not canceled, but the Bailey one has to be repackaged, and the tag team,
Which is sad.
the women's tag team had to get scrapped for, which is, I would say, not a bad thing because we got to see. I feel like the first match got a longer time. The ladder match, the Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, and
Which is should.
which was good because they got their own thing to do, and I feel you given three veterans enough time to do their spots, give you story, and finally have an undisputed Intercontinental Championship, which I didn't see that coming. Um, Seeing it back, I'm surprised that he pulled it off and how he did it. I didn't expect that. I would think, like, for example, if it was Eddie Guerrero or somebody like mischievous like that, do that the way that Sami Zayn did it, but I didn't expect Sami Zayn to pull that off. Like the way he did it with the handcuffs and stuff, I didn't see that coming. I was expecting, my pick was Jeff Hardy, and I thought he was gonna get it, but it was, I'm glad for Sami Zayn, and let's see what he got to offer now that he's fully back to the company.
Sami Zayn has a lot to offer, guys. But before we go more in depth in what we are talking about, my 100% score on the pay per view, let's just talk real quick what happened before then, right? The night or 2 nights before Clash of Champion, SmackDown did their thing. They went down in viewership by 2 millions. You know what I'm saying? So that means they've been more focusing on the sport entertainment like basketball and baseball, since they're getting close to their final slash. Baseball's getting ready for the start of the playoff. So it's obvious they were going to lose number. We had the opening segment with Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy. I think AJ Styles was holding belts, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure if that's like a superstition according to Luisito, or like that person is not winning that match. So who knows? Then Bailey appears live, gave her little spiel about her life and what's going on, and it doesn't matter because it didn't do anything for anybody. We had Shinsuke Nakamura defeating Grand Metallic, their opponent for Clash of Champion. Didn't really do anything for us. Jay Uso calling out Roman Reigns. I guess that was kind of necessary because the ending kind of like complete the whole story. Corbin defeated Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle, who's supposed to be the star, the future,
They
taking L's.
Well, we get a couple of weeks until the Superstar shakeup, so I think this whole Matt
10
Riddle
days.
being in limbo, I think that's gonna be over pretty soon. I think we're gonna see new stories in both brands, which I hope they do better than what they have now.
Maybe. I'm in about 10 days, and Matt Riddle's taking L's. Yeah, not looking good in my book. But I'm not a Matt Riddle fan, so that's not my job. Then we had Lacey Evans Lou defeating Alexa Bliss via disqualification. It seems that Alexa Bliss is slowly being possessed by the Fiend himself. And when Roman Reigns was going towards the ring after that match, Alexa Bliss was looking at the belt. So it kind of gave us an indication that the Fiend is coming for the belt in a sense. That's the message that I took from it. Not sure about you, Lucito. But the ending segment is Roman Reigns telling Jey Uso that you will never take this title. You will never take my place at the head of the table.
Mhm.
That's how SmackDown ended for us for Clash of Champions. So we jumped to Clash of Champions, where me and Lucito really got really passionate about. Open the show, the SmackDown Tag Team match. Winners Shinsuke and Cesaro. Seems that the private house party is slowly becoming a solo party, if you know what I mean.
Which is
Uh,
good. They need it. They need something. I feel like they've been a jobber team forever. So I feel like either separate or do something else. But we'll see. Gran Metalik and Lince Dorado, they're good. I don't know where the other one fits in. I feel like he's been injured a lot. Like he's been
Kalisto?
yeah, he's been the solo superstar of the three. But I feel like because of injury, I feel like your best ability is availability. So since he's been injured and stuff, the other two have to kind of carry for him at the moment. So either go back to your solo situation for a little bit, or I don't know. Maybe we could see them at NXT. Who knows? And this all three of them in NXT again.
I could see them in 205. You know what I'm saying? I could definitely see
I
them
feel like that's
as.
a big downgrade if you go down to 205.
I mean, that's their weight class,
No, it
though.
is, but I'm just saying like their show itself, you don't get that many viewers. I feel
But
sad if they go to either the Tuesday show, the main event, or go to partake in the tag team division and NXT. So help out the people there and kind of like be another like kind of regain viewers through that way. But if you go straight from challenging for a SmackDown title down to 205, that's a tough one.
I don't think so. It's just like your time was up, in my personal opinion. The IC Championship Triple Threat Ladder Match. Sami Zayn won. You know, we
Mm-hmm.
talked about this. You know how I feel about this. I was
Yeah.
static
Do
reading
you
this.
think the spot that they did with Jeff Hardy with the ear piercing and stuff, I think that's just like I don't know. I'm already sick of the Jeff Hardy ear situation. I'm like, okay, we get it, but it's just like there's nothing else creative.
No, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Remember, WWE is not that creative when it comes to these type of matches, so we just gotta take it as face value. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not too surprised. 24/7 championship. Gulak defeated our Truth via pinfall, but then our Truth regained his belt again to win the title. I don't know. He's a 50-time,
I think
55.
41. I think 41 time.
Really,
Yeah.
I think it's way more than that, but we'll find out. Raw Women's Champion Asuka versus Zelina Vega, which was once again Lucito bold prediction, but luckily my girl Asuka won it via submission on this match. United States Championship, Bobby Lashley versus Apollo Crews. We both agreed he was going to get the high make. You know what I'm saying? That submission was locked in for sure. Still chant Bobby Lashley. Raw tag team champion again. Lucito believed that the Hispanics were going to take over and do their thing, and I was hoping he was going to prove me wrong. But the Street Profit, man, they brought in the smoke
They,
and they kept the belt once again via pinfall.
they did, but there was a miscue. That
Mm.
was not a clear 1, 2, 3. That was a 1, 2, and the ref didn't see him kick out. So I wish they did more of the story yesterday on Raw, but they didn't.
Mm-mm.
But that was I don't know if it was like a mistake by the ref or something, but I think that was not supposed to be the ending of the match.
Well, if that was not the end of the match, in my book, man, that was part of my grade. So I'm
True.
glad that happened. So Street Profit right there, killing it. Bailey versus Oscar in an improv announcement match, champion versus champion. Bailey still won via disqualification. Seeing that Sasha Bank is wanting that Bailey in the Hell of Cell match to complete the full prophecy of her being the
Mm-hmm.
last woman horseman that Sasha faced in that cage. we had the WWE Championship match, ambulance match to be exact, between Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. Drew still becomes champion, even though there was interference, or not interference, or you could call it assistance from
Mm-hmm.
Christian, from Shawn Michael, from the Big Show, and then we had a special appearance from Ric Flair driving that ambulance out of the ring. At the age that he is, driving an ambulance, guys, think about that. And lastly, the Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso, where it was via stoppage for Roman Reigns to retain the belt. So, with that being said, right there, Lucito, uh, what's your thought of Clash and Champion? Did they deliver? Did they underdeliver? Did they like?
I think they exceed expectations. I think they work
Ooh,
better when
was
things
your
go
expectation higher or low, medium? Like,
low because I
okay,
think most of these matches been the same matches since probably Extreme Rules. We've seen variations of
facts.
same ones, but continuous. But I like that WWE was able to recover from a lot of people not clearing medical reasons. That's what we're saying. So the tag team, women's tag team, they weren't able to perform, so they moved. I think they were supposed to be the pre-show. They moved the men's SmackDown tag team into the pre-show, and also given the other Intercontinental more time. So I like what they did, and also same thing with the Bailey situation. Like you still, Asuka wanted kind of. We could have had Asuka 2 belts. We could have maybe, but that's another story. Which was it's a good like match. The only thing I using your formula, a good beginning, good middle, and good end. I think this met that standard. I feel like the ending was really good because the story that they were telling and basically what we're gonna see on Friday, I think it's gonna be a good story that's gonna continue on maybe until a rollover all the way, probably until WrestleMania. That I think we might see The Rock against Roman Reigns and see who's.
WrestleMania.
I think so. Well, some
Roman Reigns is going to hold on to this belt
yes,
for exactly 6 months for
yes,
us to see it in WrestleMania.
yes,
Uh,
yeah. Because the only thing that makes sense, the payout out of this family like feud and kind of like sitting the head of the table. If you
it's
think about it,
limited.
yeah, but I feel like The Rock
Who
at
else
the
is Samoan? Who else is Samoan in WWE besides the females? Like, there's no one else.
that
So
The
how
Rock
did
is so I feel like The Rock is kind of like the spearhead of that family. So I feel like The Rock has to lose to Roman for him to become the not the guy, but like the Samoan guy, like the spearhead of that
the
family.
head of the family?
Yeah.
Yeah, the head of
So
the team.
everybody he's like, okay, he defeated the Usos at the moment, and I think the other one's injured, so I don't think they're gonna have like him going against the other brother. So the only person that's left over it's The Rock for him to like kind of complete the heel transition or kind of or the dynasty, kind of defeat everybody. Because there's
I
really
mean,
nobody else.
it. I don't. I disagree with WrestleMania because WrestleMania is too far for this story to prolong that long. There is not a lot of Samoan competitors in
Mm-hmm.
WWE to build up this story as long as people want it to be. As well as if you really want The Rock to appear, it's better to do it now. He's not
You
that
mean
far
like
from
Survivor Series? Like I feel like Hell in a Cell is too close, and
yeah,
Survivor Series it's too
Survivor
like.
T- Survivor Series or TLC. Those are the two matches that it would be most ideal to continue on with this storyline because again, you don't have that much pieces. Sure, you could have Roman Reigns, fulfill have him face some of the Usos, friends to join in. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? But I don't want Big E to take this L for something that is not his fight. I want Big
yeah,
E to win the belt when it's Big E time. And Big E time, I feel like it's more towards Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. That's what I feel for Big E. That's what he deserved for taking this big drop facing Sheamus when it should have been him versus going for the heavyweight championship. We
yeah.
keep forgetting about Big E. I'm not gonna
I
forget
feel
about
like
Big
the
E.
biggest situation might pay out after the Superstar shakeup. He's still gonna be in the main event picture, but we don't know to which brand. And whichever brand it is, great. But I think they still he might get reshuffled. He might be moved to Raw. Who know? That's the thing. We don't know I think the Superstar shakeup starts, and for SmackDown
10 days.
October 9th, then the 12th for Raw. So a lot of things could happen from here on, but I think for me the final payoff for Roman Reigns has to be him taking out like kind of like everybody knows The Rock is kind of like not the spearhead of the Samoan dynasty and stuff, but he's like the guy for that family. I feel like for him to become the guy or kind of like silence everybody, he needs to defeat um The Rock. I don't know. The only two pay-per-views that we have is Hell in a Cell and Survivor Series. That's about it for this year. Next year we have like what is it? The ladder match TLC. We have other ones setting up for WrestleMania, but I feel like that match between the two has to be like a big event. And I don't think we don't have
is before Royal Rumble. It's usually in December.
for what, Survivor Series.
After Survivor Series, it's usually TLC, table ladder.
But I feel like I don't know. The Rock situation, I feel like it has to be a big payout, and they're not. I don't think they're gonna have any Saudi Arabia shows, so I don't think.
Hell no.
No, but I'm saying, but that's another one that normally happens after Survivor Series, during Survivor Series. So I think that's another show that they're not doing. So I feel this has to be like a big payout on the long term. But I like
people from the people from the Middle East are currently being occupied by UFC. I feel like UFC is slowly taking over that demographics of audience. So WWE trying to take over again over there is going to be pretty hard to do for the upcoming year. Sure, the heel turn of Roman Reigns is being more more imprinted in this match against Jey Uso, but it's going to be difficult to keep him entertained. One person that came to mind that might be able to be like a sub-in for Jimmy Uso will be that dude from the Underground, that Matubo character.
The Bakado, the one that's facing Braun Strowman.
He's Samoan.
Is he Samoan? I thought he was like Dominican or Spanish or something. Is he?
No.
Is he really Samoan?
I believe he's Samoan. And if it's so, he's definitely a guy that Roman Reigns can entertain us with until
that match
want himself show up.
That match is gonna be boring.
It's a jobber.
That's especially, but that's gonna destroy the guy. Because first of all, he has to go against Braun. We didn't see no Raw on the ground yesterday for Raw, but I don't know how that match is gonna continue. But you gotta build, like, you can't give like Roman Reigns anybody at the moment.
Yes, you can.
I don't know. Like, I feel like
you have keep in mind he faced the Usos, right? The father the father is Rikishi. Rikishi, if WWE allow, he could come in on a Friday night and introduce the other Samoan as a sub for Jimmy until Jimmy is clear. Jimmy could be like the person before The Rock shows up. That right there makes sense to me if we're talking about having, the head of the table type of family situation. And
I think that the Bakado dude, I don't know if we're talking about the guy that's facing Braun Strowman. He's his true or real background is Polish and Nigerian. And he's rocking kind of like a Wakanda Nigerian look. I would say the only one that I was close to Samoan might be the guy from NXT, but he's Hawaiian, so it's a different.
What do you mean? What do you mean Hawaiian? Hawaiian is Samoan.
No, there's an island of Samoa and there's Hawaii. There's two different. They're not like the same. They have their Polynesian background, but then the different. Like tribes, This is WWE. They can make up any BS story just to get this man a match. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if they're fully Hawaiian, Samoan. The guy I'm talking about is Conor Reeves. We haven't seen him in a while, so be interesting. But either way, I feel like I feel like they're gonna wait until probably the shakeup and see who they get. Then they're gonna start throwing people at Roman, but. They better be careful on who they throw at him,
It better be either Big E with Big E winning the belt,
Oof.
and then after that, then if you want to have that big match between him and The Rock, go for it. But I need Big E to be champion by the end of 2020. I'm sorry, personally, Big
Any
E.
champion, or it has to be the heavyweight? 'Cause I could see him with the Intercontinental
He,
again, but I just how
why?
things are
Why the IC? Why the IC?
how things are going right now. I don't see Roman losing the title, and McIntyre, how things are going right now. I don't. McIntyre has been allowing people to get the bat, like push him to the limit, but I don't think yet. Not, I wanted him to finish 2020, so those are your two main guys. And
Yeah,
I could see Big E probably beating Roman. He capable, but I just
I
feel
know.
like you're taking away from somebody that like your face of the company. You know what I'm saying? Like
No, you're
I don't know.
not. Because you're not taking away somebody who's the face of the company. You're building up a newer and more charisma person to take over SmackDown, and that's what Big E is. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, is that when we saw Big E finally getting his single push, the guy was hot, the guy's looking good. You could definitely have Big E win a pay-per-view match against Roman Reigns, you know what I'm saying, with the help from the Hawaiian family, you know what I'm saying, making sure that Roman doesn't get the W. And then after that, it's free ball. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be satisfied personally, and this is I'm talking about my own personal feelings and opinion. I'll be mostly satisfied seeing Big E with that heavyweight belt because then he's gonna have the trifecta. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next belt, if he get transferred, let's say he does go to Raw, whatever, for the next draft or for whatever reason, go for the US, he could be a Grand Slam champion. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want for Big E is just a more solid career. So him and Kofi Kingston could definitely be truly Hall of Famers in near future come.
Yeah, I think
That's all
I feel like they're already Hall of Famers. What they have accomplished just as tag teams.
as a
Like
tag team.
no, but I'm saying
But
like individually, I don't know if they're gonna be like everybody else that they got in as a tag team and also as individuals that still got some time to add to their resumes. But I think Kofi Kingston, him winning, I think he's could be up there for the Hall of Fame and as an individual. Even Big E, I feel like him getting the any of the like heavyweight titles for Universal, regular WWE, I feel like that could basically moving over the notch. But I feel he still got time for it. I just for me I'm just wait and see. I feel like I understand your point about Big E. He's worked and he's earned the like his shot, his moment soon or now. But how things are going, Roman, I wouldn't want to mix those two at the moment. For me, it's just I wait and see how the superstar shakeup occurs, then manage from there on. I feel like the aftermath of Clash of Champions, I feel there's still a lot of family situation to revolve either promos or something between amongst them.
and since when WWE became like the English version of Christina, like I don't understand how we're getting so much family
Oh,
drama
the
for entertainment. Dude, I just don't get it. I just don't. I
they have
don't get it.
nothing else. If you think about it, they have nothing else for Roman to do. So just
So
throw let's
SmackDown is for the Hawaiians, and then the Raw is for the Hispanic. Because honestly,
mhm.
like
But
I'm,
they're messing up with the Hispanics. I that don't get me started with them ruining the
we are talking about it. So
they're
yes,
just they
please start.
they're just messing that up. I feel like the Andrade Clash of Champions they messed up that call. That's one thing. Not they don't have a conspiracy for like Latinos and stuff, but I feel like that Andrade should have won or the match should have continued. Either lose, draw, whatever. But I wanted to see what would have happened. Then Andrade having his like open challenge and you throw Keith Lee, that makes no sense. Then you have the Mysterio family situation. It's just like you run out of things to do and let like the Dominic situation, like give him real matches, not just soap opera stuff that makes no sense. Him
I
like
mean, so the storyline between okay, so let's start with the last thing you said. Dominique versus Murphy. That match does make sense because Murphy is still part of the storyline in a sense,
yeah.
and because of the sister, that makes sense. Him taking the loss, cool. That's fine with me. I feel like Dominique just only gotta, just push the envelope a little bit better. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And just try to end Murphy So we could definitely move on to a whole different story with that. With Andrade, it's not Andrade's fault. He did an open challenge. If it was an open challenge, it's anybody's game that the
He
creative table wanted it to be. And if it was Keith Lee, by all means, the man, Andrade could have won by DQ.
no
Andrade
true,
could have won
but it's just
by
like, dude,
a different way.
you
He
could
could put a stipulation too.
you think about it. Yes, they could have done stipulation, or there is an open challenge for the WWE heavyweight title. Take it.
Yes.
Why didn't you be like, McIntyre, I want next, instead of, which was fine. Bobby Roode, we got great, but like, you just miss an opportunity, and you open, and that's one thing, and you also given an open ended like challenge to anybody. I'm like, dude, you can't be doing that.
So my question to you, right, with what you just said, are you mostly upset in the character of Andrade being told by the creative table, or you're just mad at the or upset with mostly the direction that they have for Andrade?
I think the direction, because I feel like that's, if you think about it, they don't have too many good heels or bad guys in Raw. You have Randy Orton, which is doing his thing, which is fine in the background, and really Dolph Ziggler. Okay, who else? Nobody. Oh, and Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins is busy with the Mysterios, which that's one story taken care of. But Andrade could be that other guy that work in the Hurt Business. But I just like, you could work, like, if they gave him Riddick Moss,
Cedric,
anybody else, but Keith Lee, when I saw that, I was like, I was like, oh, this is Andrade's moment to like be a single person or superstar by himself. Nope, give it Keith Lee. Like, why? And I feel like is Keith Lee gonna turn into not John Cena, but the reverse John Cena? Like, anybody has an open challenge, Keith Lee is gonna answer it. You know how John Cena had the open US, he faces anybody. So whoever has like open situation, Keith Lee's like, I'm taking any shot that's available. Like, make a story for him.
Are you saying anybody with the belt, or just anybody who does the open challenge?
Anybody that open challenge, Keith Lee answers, which is fine. But it's just like, you deserve a better story. You were the North American champion. You were the NXT champion for a little bit, and you're a monster in the ring. Why are you just calling, like, there's no story for him? It's so sad for me. It's just like, you're so great, and you're not given an opportunity to like excel in what you're good at.
All right. So before we continue on with what happened aftermath of Clash of Champions, let's tell the audience what occurred. All right. So Raw viewership was 1.822 million viewership. Baseball season's not yet started. The Miami Heat have won their the final game against the Celtics. So a lot of viewership was definitely towards the sport entertainment. So Randy Orton, giving the warning to the legends, as they want to call themselves.
And also, sorry, before you continue, just kind of Randy Orton related. Were you suspicious when you saw Raw? Were you suspicious about the big person as a janitor? I'm not saying all janitors are small, but like, I saw the guy in the background. I'm like, that guy's way too big to be a janitor. I'm like, something's up. I thought it was somebody from Retribution, but I knew Retribution are going to be out for 2 weeks. But I thought it was somebody from Retribution scouting what's happening in Raw. But when I think the Hurt Business walked by him, he matched the size of like everybody. I was like, something's going to happen later on. But I didn't expect it was Randy Orton. But I was just like, he was way too big to be a janitor. That's just me. That just like gave me an alert that put me in a high alert the whole show.
And that's the ending of the show, guys.
Yeah.
So Randy starting with the warning. At the end of the show, he completed his warning against the legends, Big Show, Christian, Shawn Michaels, and Ric Flair. Watch the video. It's definitely shows some, like, it focused on that scene. It wasn't a bad ending for me. First match of the night was the Raw Women's Championship, round 2, Asuka versus Zelina Vega. Asuka once again winning with the submission. The open challenge that my friend Luisito is upset about, Andrade versus Keith Lee. Keith Lee gets the pinfall over Andrade. Then we go back to the WWE Raw of Christina, where Seth Rollins revealed the text message between Murphy and Alaya, the daughter of Rey Mysterio. God knows why. No, no more than that. Then we had the match. Mandy Rose making her first appearance to Raw with the tribute to Trish Stratus in her pink outfit with the partner of Dana Brooks, which does not make no sense to me, versus Lana and Natalia. Rose and Brooke got the W. However, this match, according to BNR Bleach Report, definitely got a a big fat F.
You saw me
Because
Messenger doing the match. I think yesterday on Messenger.
yeah, you said it was dangerous. It was crazy. It was wild. Nobody had nobody knew what the role was. It was a sancocho.
It was bad. It was just like Lana, either she's gonna get hurt or she's gonna hurt somebody. One of the two. And her taking bumps. I was like cringing when I was watching. Like, I don't know. Like, and I like that. I think Mandy and Dana Brooke could work for a little bit. Mandy and Dana Brooke, I feel like they're gonna be attacking for a while. And I think it's a good collaborative between the two. I feel like you have some veteran with Mandy, and I feel like they kind of not look alike, but I feel like that's kind of what Vince likes, the blondes teaming up together. So I think that's a decent team, and I think they could probably later on could end up being a tag team champion. But I think they are not the ones who are gonna defeat Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. I think it might be the Riot Squad. I think they have to win the titles pretty soon.
I'm just it just one, I did not know Dana Brooks was also transferred to Raw, and then two, Mandy Rose being in that type of situation. I heard she also put Lana also in a difficult spot too with the slam. So it was really scary for everybody.
It was a mutual thing, but also like Lana should have like assisted something with the flip, but it was just like they're both dangerous too. But I feel like they're more forgiving for Mandy than they are with Lana.
Yeah, I mean, like if this is Lana trying to say like, "Hey, I'm done with you guys. I just want to be with my husband or continue doing my stuff on TikTok and YouTube," by all means, do what you got to do. Because honestly, it's like Lana has been taking these crazy whack matches, and it's not benefiting her and not benefiting Natalia. And now we got to wait until the Riot Squad or whatever is the new name of the crew of Live Riot, whatever, to return so that way we could continue to have that story for that tag team. Aleister Black and Kevin Owens, they had a match. KO win by DQ. It seems like during the match, Black got into an argument with the ref who he accidentally hit while he was trying to pull the ref trying to pull him away from KO. And, since he got hit, the ref called it a DQ, and KO ended it with the stunner of his own. So we're definitely going to see a part 2 from this as either no disqualification, no bar match, or something wow.
The next one I think it's Hell in a Cell, so I think that's a good combination for the two. Because this story is fine. Yeah, I feel the combination of the two is great, but I feel like they need something else. We've seen this for a couple of months, and it's just like, all right, what else? Like, and do you like the new entrance and/or music of Aleister Black, or you're indifferent about it?
The outfit, I mean,
no, like they changed his music and the intro too.
I didn't see Raw, so
but he doesn't do the how he does the tomb thing. He doesn't do that anymore. He just like comes in and goes crazy.
I mean, like, hey, it is what it is. Things are modified to change. I just didn't expect his whole out. I mean, he looks more comfortable now, wearing more like longer leather
the
pants than the shorts. I think I got to give it time to see if it warms up to me. But other than that, I'm just happy he's facing someone pretty good like Kevin Owens, and hopefully he could try to continue with the story, because this story definitely have potential for Raw. You know what I'm saying? Besides the Christina family issue, which still till this day, oh my god, uh, why? Yo. So then, I think we had King Lar
Yeah,
and the
the submitted
Mysterio
Mysterio thing. It was just like it,
again. Jesus Christ! And then after that, Dominique has a match with Murphy. Again, Dominique got the L from Murphy via pinfall. Seems that the sister was not, taking, protecting the love of his life. Like this is freaking Romeo and Juliet type of shit. I just don't get
yeah.
it. We had a triple threat match for the 24/7 championship. R2, Tasawa, and Gulak got the win over pinfall to keep the belt. I don't know what's the number, but I feel like it's like 55 or
It's
something.
41. I looked it up. 41st reign as champion.
For,
That means he lost it 40 times. That's the thing. Is
yes.
everybody's like, "Oh, I'm a 16 champ." Yeah, but you lost it 15 times.
Yeah, but you and R-Truth is breaking records for
Yeah,
everybody.
he's gonna be like 100 and something. He should do. You know what he
God,
should do?
no.
He should finish at 101, and he could throw something about the Dalmatians. So he's like, "Oh, 101, 787, whatever." But I think it might be like either 99 and that 100 win or loss. It might be at like at a big stage.
God, WrestleMania.
Yeah.
WrestleMania. The Hurt Business will face against the Arab-backed brothers of Apollo Crews, Ricochet, and Mustafa Ali. Those guys finally got a break from main event, and those guys got the win over the Hurt Business.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look good for them? I think so. Are we going to see more of them in Raw? Yes, because they did defeated the Hurt Business, so we might be seeing like single matches or tag team matches.
Mustafa defeated MVP. The other two have a losing record against them. You know what I'm saying? So anytime Mustafa Ali comes back, oh, and also he got his name back once again. Now he's Mustafa Ali.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So every time he returns, he picks up a win. So he should return more often because they're going to do a feud again, lose again, and restart. So they need to give him something more continuous.
Concrete.
And I think he might be the next contender for Bobby Lashley, but Bobby Lashley's going to destroy him.
Agreed. The last match of the night before the attack of Randy Orton was the Drew McIntyre versus Robert Roode, the return of Robert Roode. This match I saw was an A++. It definitely gave us that NXT takeover match type of feeling, but only different is actually
it was the same result.
Same result. Yeah.
But,
McIntyre got the W.
Bobby Roode, I'm glad that since he's been off TV, he got some refresher. He looks a little bit not rusty in the ring, but you could tell there's still some timing things off. Like if you want to nitpick the match and stuff, but they both worked together before in NXT, which was great. And I think honestly I appreciated that he came back and kind of brought the glorious theme back, and his Robert Roode, not Bobby Roode anymore. So I like that they refreshed him up, and it's a new face, which is good. So him and Dolph Ziggler could do some work in Raw, which is good. And
I don't mind see them as tag team personally.
Yeah, no, and that'll be good for that division too. And either them being tag team or individually doesn't matter. They both could work for whichever level. But I like the return of him, and it was good. I think it was a good debut for him, and good debut for Mandy as well. I think for
awesome. Now, any news that we probably missed or didn't mention during the full episode?
They just had they basically named some of the matches that are going to happen for NXT TakeOver. They added the Cruiserweight one, which is good. I think for NXT 31, I think this weekend, this Sunday, which is going to be good. They added the Santos Escobar against, so basically a quick rundown of NXT TakeOver is going to be Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly. North American Championship is going to be Damian Priest against Johnny Gargano. NXT Women's Title, Io Shirai against Candice LeRae. And the one that just got added was a Cruiserweight title, Santos Escobar against Isaiah Swerve Scott, which should be interesting. And we also have Velveteen Dream against Kushida. That should be interesting as well. I don't know if they're going to add anything more because we got to see what's going to happen on Wednesday for NXT, which is going to be the go-home show for them for the pay-per-view. And they're also competing with AEW and the NBA Finals, so that should be an interesting week for ratings for them.
Ratings is definitely going to be a big loss for both AEW and
I think it's gonna be NXT over AEW. I think AEW is gonna maintain their thing. It's on ESPN the finals. So
yes, but you're losing attraction from TNT to
Yeah.
ESPN too. So it's
True.
just like
It's gonna be tough. But they have most of the. I feel like most of their NXT card built up. I think they might have add a couple of matches. We have to see on Wednesday, and I know they. We saw Sasha at Clash of Champions. I know that they're building a story for Hell in a Cell. I think October 25th, and they have kind of like that on Q. It's gonna be Bailey and Sasha, depending how quick she heals up. But she get a month to get better for Hell in a Cell.
Really heal?
No, heal, not heal like turn bad, but like heal to recover from her neck.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think she's really injured. They just put her on the side. They just put her in the inactive list just so they could do what they had to do with Bailey and then try to build that story for Hell in a Cell. I believe that match is happening in Hell in a Cell for sure.
Yeah, so it's so we got a couple of things going on this weekend NXT, and they're building up for Hell in a Cell next month. So there's a lot of things going on for the near future.
All right, guys. So this is our show. Tell us what you think, what you believed in, what excitement you had from COC, and what disappointment you got from SmackDown or from Raw. Because honestly, thank God for that pay-per-view. In our personal opinion. Once again, if you found our show accidentally and you enjoy it, we say, hey, you got to do two things, man. Follow us, man. Just hit the subscribe button and just give us those 5 stars and just enjoy the ride with us. We are on Facebook, Instagram. We are on Twitter. We also on the YouTube. And, those who've been rocking with us since day one, we say thank you, and continue sharing your thoughts and support towards us. We'll continue bringing you guys new materials and hopefully excitement for this podcast. Our audio contents are posted on Apple Podcasts and Spotify for those Android users. Anyway, this is the end of our show. I'm your boy, Jay Aguila.
And this is Luisito.
And we say, buenas noches.
See ya. Good night. See ya.